We are going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. We're going to let everyone kind of trickle in here for maybe 2-3 minutes here as we have quite a few people joining us for the ACO Parts After Sales Marketing Program webinar today. So yeah, we'll give you a couple minutes here and then we will get started. All right, we'll just give you just one more minute here just to allow a couple more people to come in. We think we have like half of the people that are registered in. So just give one more minute here and then we will get the webinar started. All right, I would like to welcome everybody to the ACO Parts After Sales Marketing Program webinar. I am Emily Barbles. I am the account director for ACO Direct, and I'm here today with the ACO Parts team to discuss and kick off the new year, I guess, in September. We're talking about 2026 already and getting started with the After Sales Marketing Program for next year. So I am going to kick it over to our ACO Parts team with Alicia and Madeline. So ladies, welcome, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Emily. Yeah, my name is Madeline Hensel, and I am an account manager with ACO Direct, and I will be presenting with Alicia today.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. For those of you who don't know me, I am Alicia Hawkins. I am the manager of brand and communications and retail marketing for AGCO Parts North America. Really excited to dive into all things after sales marketing with you today. Talk about our kind of overall AMP introduction today, and just a brief overview of it for any of those new faces that we might have on today. So brief introduction of AMP, what it is, the importance of after sales marketing, why AMP, and then We'll dive into an overview of AMP, kind of updates, changes that we're making to the program, as well as walk you through the different packages, and then kind of the steps to get started in enrollment, and then just some key takeaways. And then we'll end it with a Q&A and answer all of your questions that you have for us today. So quick overview of AMP. So AMP is our after sales marketing program. It's our retail marketing program. We offer this program to our dealer network. Our dealers can enroll in this program. It is a support package of marketing efforts. So really talking through and figuring out, as your dealership, what are your overall goals and business objectives for the year, not just from a whole goods perspective, but also from an after sales perspective. Are there key product categories that you really want to focus on and increase revenue? Are there certain commercial programs or service offerings that you have that you really want your customers to be aware that you have these offerings, whether that be PM360 inspections, whether that be AGCO protection, all of your extended warranty campaigns. So we are really supporting you in reaching those goals and creating marketing tactics for yourself and for your dealership. We have a wide array of campaigns and different touch points. So making sure that we're hitting your customers at the right times in the right ways. So whether that be a social media campaign, as a customer is scrolling their social media and they see an advertisement pop up, whether they're checking the weather for the day and see a digital ad pop up while they're checking their weather, the weather for the day, whether they're out checking their mailbox and receive a direct mailer. So multiple avenues and touch points that we have. And again, making sure that we're hitting those customers at the right times for the different product categories. So we have built out calendars for each of the product categories, whether that be harvest parts, tillage parts, batteries, filters and lubricants. We have calendars, different tactics that are going to be distributed to your customers at different touch points throughout the year, depending on that specific category and what makes the most sense for when that customer should receive that specific marketing tactic. And then we also have customizable options. So some of you might be familiar. We have a kind of a set it and forget it packages where you can select a package. We have ready-made marketing materials and copy generated for those specific product categories and commercial programs you enroll in, and then we distribute those based off of the calendars. We also have a customizable package where we can build out a parts media plan based off of your specific business goals and needs, and make the materials a little bit more customizable to your dealership. So really tailoring all of these marketing materials and tactics to your overall dealership goals and objectives. We really want to support you in reaching your business goals. So that's a quick overview of I feel like I talked for a little bit, but an overview of AMP and what it all has to offer. So why should you market after sales? So I think after sales is extremely important. I think the industry continues to transform and rapidly. So the ag industry, the digital evolution of the ag industry is rapidly transforming. So you've got that to keep in mind. We've also been experiencing the industry downturn and tariffs and things of that nature to where farmers are hesitant to buy new machines. So I think here being able to inform and make your customers aware of your dealership and all of your offerings that you have to not only be able to provide them with the parts that they need to repair their machines, but also to maintain and service their machines. So really honing in on those PM 360 inspections, making sure they have that extended warranty coverage, even getting them enrolled into the loyalty program through AGCO Plus Smart Rewards. So I think really supporting your dealers from an after sales perspective is huge and key at this point in time and where we're at currently. And I think, as I mentioned, like that digital age. So I think e-commerce customers are really looking for the things that they need, the parts that they need at their fingertips. So if your dealership is closes at 6 p.m. and that customer is still in the field and they have a breakdown and they need a part ASAP, being able to get that ordered right away for themselves on your e-commerce site is key. So I think everyone wants everything at their fingertips anymore. So that's really key here in making sure that your dealer or your customers have everything that they need at their fingertips, and that they're aware that you have the support and the parts and the service to be able to provide that to them and support them in the time of need. So let's dive into AMP 2026. We honestly don't have a whole lot of huge changes here. So pretty simple. I want to continue to keep it simple for you and as well as the customers. So what's new for 2026? So we've aligned some of our loyalty categories. So for instance, toys and merch hasn't been a loyalty category these past couple years. So toys and merch is no longer going to be a category that you can enroll in and market through AMP anyways. We've also added tracks and options and accessories. So again, just kind of getting that alignment with our loyalty categories. So we have 11 product categories that you can enroll in. A couple, I will note, are just awareness because they aren't, if you're an e-commerce dealer, a couple of them are only awareness because they aren't available on e-commerce. So for instance, crop packaging and Reman are awareness only campaigns, but all others are available on e-commerce. And so you can enroll in those specific product categories that you really want to focus on, depending on what your goals are for your dealership. Also, in regards to the categories, we really looked at the calendars for each of the product categories and the tactics and when those tactics are being distributed to your customers. We wanted to make sure that we were targeting your customers at the right time with some of those tactics. So we kind of refined the timing of each of those tactics a little bit on a couple of those product categories for 2026 to make more sense as far as when that customer is receiving that piece of marketing material. New enrollment packages. So really here, we're just simplifying it. It's not really anything too new. We have an e-commerce package and we have a non-e-commerce package. And then we still have our customized package as well. So, but 3 packages: e-commerce, non-e-commerce, and then the custom. So really just reducing it, and really with these packages honing in on that digital aspect. So as you can see here, we're really focusing on digital. So we did remove direct mail as a required tactic in each of the packages, but it's an add-on option. So if you want to do a little bit something extra in your marketing efforts and maybe a more targeted campaign through direct mails on a certain product offering that you're doing, let's say you're doing 10% off of filters and lubricants, and you've got social going and you've got Performance Max going, but you also want to target some customers who maybe haven't bought or purchased filters and lubricants from you in a while, and you're doing 10% off. whether that's on e-commerce or in-store. You could do a QR code to your e-commerce page for the 10% off and be able to track that, or put in a code. We can work with you on building out as a special coupon code that they have to enter, so you can truly track the ROI of that direct mailer. Another option, if you just want to do something in store, is doing like an inner, you come in, you use this coupon or this 10% off direct mailer for filters and lubricants, and we'll enter you to win a cooler, or you bring this in and receive the 10% off, and you'll be given a tumbler or something along those, just so you can track and kind of incentivize the customer a little bit more than just that 10% off, and be able to track that ROI of that mailer, but really giving you the flexibility of determining when and where you want to use that direct mailer. And to what customer list you want to target. Another add-on that we've added is paid social. So all of our packages include organic social. So this add-on is paid social. Of course, both of these will come at an additional cost, which I know Madeline will kind of talk through here later on in the presentation. But those are two add-ons allowing you additional marketing support for your different tactics. And then but also flexibility there. So it's not a requirement. You can use it. You don't have to use it. You can use it when you want to use it. So really based off of what your overall marketing goals are for your specific product categories that you enroll in, as well as your commercial programs. Now I'm going to pass it off to Madeline to kind of go through the package overview.
Perfect. Thank you, Alicia. Yeah, I'm excited to jump into this with all of you. So we'll just walk through kind of a more high level examination of the packages here, and we'll get more into the nitty gritty on the slides after this. But right off the bat, like Alicia said, we did simplify and streamline some of the package offerings this year. So you're going to see e-commerce and non-e-commerce. So of course, a majority, if not all, of e-commerce dealers, that probably does make sense to enroll in that e-com package. You're going to see the tactics that are available in each of these here. So responsive display is exclusive to the e-com package. So if you are running product categories and campaigns that are featured on e-com, responsive display will run for those. Social media, organic social media specifically, is included, like Alicia mentioned. And then Performance Max is listed here as well. If you do choose to run some product categories or campaigns that are not featured on e-commerce, Performance Max would run for those. So just kind of dependent on what categories you choose will kind of dictate if we run responsive display or if we run Performance Max. And the number of campaigns included here is 6, so no change from last year on that. And then like mentioned, direct mail and paid social are add-ons. Direct mail, I'm sure you're all very familiar with if you've run AMP in the past, but paid social is a new offering this year. So definitely if you want more information or just want to discuss that more in depth, reach out to your direct AM or your FAM, and they can kind of walk through more in detail what paid social could look like for your dealership. But that is a new one this year. So for non-e-com, like I mentioned, if you have e-com, responsive display runs. So that is not included in this package. So organic social, Performance Max are also included here. And then 5 campaigns are included in the non-e-com package. And you still have the ability to do the add-ons with non-e-com. So you can do direct mail, you can do paid social, and these are going to come, I'll get into the cost breakdown on the next slide as well. But for direct mail, that's going to be per piece, and paid social is per month on the months that you would run paid social. So that kind of depends on the campaigns and flighting, when those would run and how frequently. But all of that information is in the playbook, and we can certainly kind of help you identify what makes the most sense to reach your goals there. And then custom, same as last year as well. We work with you to create a plan that really is focused around your dealership's goals, your sales goals, anything that you are really shooting for this coming year. And we kind of just help you craft that. You have a lot more flexibility and ability to work with your account manager to kind of come up with a plan that's going to be best for you. And that also has some flexible costs there. So definitely reach out to your direct AM or your FAM if you are interested in learning more about the custom packages.
And one thing I'll note too for those e-commerce dealers, if you are an e-commerce dealer and you select the 10% or 15% promos on your select categories, e-commerce dealers will receive an up to 5% reimbursement on those campaigns. So I just wanted to note that before I forget.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So this is a little more granular and a little more detailed. You'll find all of this too in the playbook, which we do have attached as a handout here to this webinar. So you can feel free to download that out if you want to take a closer look. But kind of getting into the breakdown of the packages. So as you can see, the campaigns are listed for each one. So for ecom, we're looking at 3 product offer campaigns, 1 commercial program campaign. Targeted communications is included there. E-commerce awareness and after sales excellence are all included as campaigns for ecom. Tactics, kind of like I just mentioned, for ecom categories that are offered on e-commerce, we would run Google responsive. For those that are not, we would run Performance Max. Organic social runs for a lot of the categories throughout a lot of the year, but we do have that flighted in the schedules that you'll see in the playbook, kind of dependent on the relevancy of each program for your customer base. So we have put a lot of thought into that to make sure that it's really going out at the correct times, so they're seeing it when it's most relevant to them. And then for those additional add-ons, so for direct mail, like I said, this is going to be charged per piece as an add-on. So for US dealers, it's $175 per piece, and for Canadian dealers, it's $225 per piece. And then for paid social, this is a fee per month. And again, this is a newer program. So to enroll, we might need to get some accesses, things like that. But for paid social, it would be $500 per month, and that would be on the months that paid social runs for your categories. So this can be pretty custom to what you want it to be, depending on the categories that you choose. It's not, $500 per month all year. It's $500 per month on the months that paid social would run for your categories. And then for non-e-commerce, very similar in nature, 3 product awareness campaigns, 1 commercial program campaign, targeted communications, and then after sales excellence for the campaigns that are running. And then for tactics, Performance Max will be the default here, since these aren't driving to specific e-commerce pages. Organic social, same as the e-commerce package, and really runs flighted on relevance to your customer base. And then the exact same layout for the add-ons there. So really the main difference is driving to the e-commerce site and potentially leveraging Google responsive versus more awareness campaigns and leveraging Performance Max. For the custom package, like I said, this is really something you build with your AM. So definitely reach out to whoever you work with on either direct or with your FAM, and they can work with you to really customize copy, creative, really all of it is pretty customizable for you and your dealership. So if you have interest in that, absolutely reach out to your account manager. So just a bit of a high level and kind of give some visual examples of the tactics that we're talking about here. And some of you may be familiar with this, but just kind of wanted to walk through it as a refresher. So for paid social, which you'll see in the top left corner there on your screens, organic and paid are both listed here. They look relatively similar, but there will be different executions for the paid side of things. So we won't run the same creative congruently for organic and paid. We'll have different creative executions for those. So both will run based on the flighting schedule that we have in the playbook, dependent on the product category that you choose. Google responsive display. is through the Google network. We basically feed in copy and a variety of images, and Google is able to put combinations of those together and optimize based on the highest performance for the different combinations, dependent on how things perform with your customer base. And then Google Performance Max is also a very cool campaign approach. It also leverages the Google network, but we are able to give it imagery, video, copy, a larger variety of assets, and it's able to deliver those to a lot of different places on the Google network. So as you can just see as an example here, YouTube, it runs display. It also runs Google search. You'll see it in Gmail and Maps. It really is able to deliver those ad sets to a lot of different places, which is great for awareness specifically, which is why we do run it for that type of offering as well. So that, again, is the default for non-e-com and can be also used in e-com, just depending on the product category. And then direct mail, which I'm sure is familiar to a lot of you. This is just one example of that. And like I said, this is all dependent on the product categories that you're enrolled in. Cost for this is per piece. So it's also totally dependent on the list that you'd like to send to. And we can work with you on that, our direct team and FAMs. And also Alicia and her team at AGCO Parts, we can make sure that we have a really good list to send to make sure you're reaching the right people at the right time. All right, so that kind of wraps up the deep dive into the actual packages and some of the tactics. So some major key takeaways that we'd really like you to remember as we're moving into the enrollment period today. The goal is to really promote awareness of your offerings, of your services, of the parts that you have, and the support that you can give to your customers. So really making sure that that message is being distributed loud and clear to your customer base is a huge goal here. Also fostering customer engagement and cultivating loyalty with these really personalized custom messaging that's relevant to them at the right times. I think it also helps just instill a level of trust. Like, my dealer understands me. Like, they know when I need things, they understand what I'm going through, and they understand what I'm working on. So it just really increases that engagement level with your customers and definitely cultivates loyalty with them, while hopefully helping your retail sales for parts and through this marketing process of parts, just overall increasing the amount that you're able to provide your customer base. Additionally, we definitely want to enhance sales and elevate that customer experience through that integrated e-commerce AMP solution. So really, when we deliver those ads to people, they can easily click on them and get right to the e-commerce site. If you're an e-commerce dealer, it's a very seamless process. And like Alicia mentioned at the beginning, very at your fingertips solution for people who really need something right now. So that just increases that customer experience and makes it a more seamless process for them at the end of the day. And also, enrolling in the AMP program really allows you to think about your marketing strategy and plan it today, right now. And it really just lays the foundation for all of 2026. You're able to work with your AMs, your FAMs, and figure out what your goals are. And then you can kind of step back and let AGCO really manage the execution and delivery of these tactics. So with custom, you have a little more flexibility and some input and collaboration that can go into that. But with those first two packages, you can really kind of give it to the AGCO team, and they can execute that and really set you up for a successful year. So those are, I think, the main things that we want you guys to remember going out of this. Do you have anything to add there, Alicia?
Nope, I think you covered it really well.
Perfect. All right. So next steps for getting started here. You can see, like I mentioned, the handouts do include the AMP playbook for 2026. So feel free to give that a download. On the next slide too, we'll have a QR that you can scan to get you that as well. But first thing would be to start reviewing those packages, looking through the options, and then selecting the best fit for your dealership, for your budgets, for all the variables that you're looking at, to kind of analyze those. And then you'd reach out to your account managers, your FAMs, and really align on the campaign goals that you have. So you can talk through any questions you might have. You can share some of your categories that you really want to maybe have higher sales in, or services that you really want to promote, you can align with the direct AMs and really get a good plan in place for that to fit your goals. And then after that point, the AGCO team will really handle the execution, like I mentioned. So we'll really run with it. We'll do all of the kind of the legwork, all the pushing out and executing of these tactics for you. And you can really do the thing that's most important, which is run your business. You don't have to worry about all the marketing tactics and coordinating them and figuring out creative. Like AGCO can really handle that for you. So that's really how to get started. And of course, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to your AMs, your FAMs. You can also email the AGCO Direct team at ads@agcodirect.com, and we can get you connected with the right person. So enrollment does open today. So starting today, you can either submit online. If you scan the QR code here, it's going to take you out to the registration website. So on that website, you could actually enroll in a program if you are feeling super confident and you're like, I know exactly what I want to do. You could do that here right now. You can also download the playbook there. So we have a little download link at the top of the registration page where you can get a PDF of the playbook as well. And yeah, enrollment will run through October 31st. So it'd be great if we could get all of you guys signed up who are interested by that time, and then we'll be set to go for Q1 of 2026. So I think that covers it for me. Do you have anything else you'd want to touch on, Alicia?
No, I don't think so. I really think if you guys have any questions, more than happy to answer them, excuse me, now. Otherwise, as you're reviewing it, reviewing the playbook and reviewing the registration website and questions come up, as Madeline mentioned, make sure to reach out to your AGCO Direct account manager or your after sales manager. They'll make sure to direct you in the right way. If you are unsure of who your AGCO Direct account manager is, I would say to reach out to the ads@agcodirect.com or reach out to your after sales manager, and we'll make sure that we've got you in contact with the right AGCO Direct account manager to help support you throughout this enrollment process. So we do understand that it is early enrollment, but to make sure that we have all of our creative and copy set up and ready to go for a January 1 launch, we really need the enrollment to be completed by Friday, October 31st, so we can start preparing for that January 1st launch. So happy to answer any questions that anyone might have at this time.
Yeah, if you do have any questions at this time, go ahead and drop them in the chat over there. We did ask for questions before the webinar had started as well, as people were getting registered. So there are a few questions here. The first one was, will there be any posters to advertise inside of the dealerships on the promotions that we choose?
There will not be. So what we're doing currently, just to give you a brief overview. So we know we have the e-store. We know that those are, the e-store has been a little bit outdated. So we're actually been working with AGCO Direct on getting that refresh, getting it cleaned up. So we are working on getting new and fresh materials out there for you. I think if there is a certain product category or a commercial program that you're really wanting to push hard, I think that's a discussion that we can have and say, hey, you want posters built for this specific product category or this offering, and we can definitely talk about what your needs are and what you're looking for, and work with you to develop something and support you in that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. You can reach out to ads@agcodirect.com. You can go to the AGCO Direct portal and put in a request as well. And we would be happy to create something with the help of the AGCO Parts team and just make sure that you have everything you need POP-wise to promote those as well internally in the dealership. So question 2 is, if we are not a e-commerce dealer, where do our digital tactics drive to?
Yeah, they do drive to the AGCO Parts landing page. So not a specific area within there, but they do drive to just the general AGCO Parts page.
And within that,
go
sorry,
ahead.
I'll just add, and within that page, just so you are aware, so it gives us their information. They input their customer information, their location. We get that request and then we send it to your dealership, all of that customer information. So I don't want you to think that it just goes to a random landing page and then we don't do anything with it. We gather all of their customer information, exactly what they're looking for, and then we do send that off to your dealership.
Are we able to see the creative before it is sent out on our behalf?
Yes, there is a email that goes out the month prior. I believe it's on the 10th. Correct me if I'm wrong. The 10th that goes out to your marketing contact, where you can review your customer list. You can review all of the marketing creative. So yes, you do have the ability to see everything before it gets distributed.
And when you sign up for the AMP program, you give them your contact information there. And so that would be your primary contact that would receive that review email. So if you have additional people that need to see that email or you want it to go to somebody else, just make sure you're talking to your ACO Direct contact, your account manager there, and talking about who needs to be that reviewer, and just making sure that they have that email address, so that you have the correct person reviewing that so that they know exactly what's going out on their behalf as well.
And I think those emails are really good to send out to your dealership personnel. So your parts counter, your services manager, everyone within the dealership is aware of the different product offerings, service offerings, things that you're promoting throughout that quarter or throughout that upcoming month. So everyone's on the same page. A customer doesn't come in and then, the parts rep is like, I don't know what you're talking about. So just to make sure everyone's aligned and aware of what's coming up, and to really drive that customer experience and customer engagement even more.
What type of paid social ads will run?
I think that, like I said, it's kind of a newer offering this year. So definitely open to conversation with each of our dealerships. But obviously there are a few different goals that you can set up within the Facebook ad platform. So if you have specific questions or have a specific desire for what type of ad you'd like to run, definitely communicate that to your direct AM, and we can work on getting that set up if you have specific preferences. If not, we'll look at those campaigns and we'll kind of make a decision just based on, what's running, what the product category is, etc. But we're definitely open to working with all of you on how that looks.
And I think it too depends on if you're doing e-com or if you're not too, because if you're doing e-com, you're probably going to want to do a click to website ad so that it can go directly there and they can just put in their order direct through there and don't have to go through a salesperson, which is the benefit of doing e-com, right? They can not have to do a face-to-face or a voice-to-voice interaction, and they can just go ahead and make that purchase in their own time, 2 o'clock in the morning, if that's when you get up as a farmer. They have crazy hours that they work. So that's just, a benefit of doing that. So, and then you can do lead gen for people that are outside of e-com if you want to have those leads come into you too, and put them into your, CMS systems, or make sure that you just have those contacts there too, so that you can contact them as well. There is a question about the reimbursement when they choose the 10 or 15% discounts and they get the half back from AGCO. They are talking about how they would receive that credit or when they should be seeing those transactions come through from the AGCO side.
Yep, absolutely. Those should be coming across on your parts statements on a quarterly basis. So we run the reimbursements based off of the sales that we saw for that quarter through AMP. And then those get credited to your quarterly parts statement.
So if you're having an issue with that, go ahead and reach out to you can reach out to ads at acodirect.com. Since it's on the screen, it's an easy one to go to, and we have all the contacts that we need to be able to direct you to the right person. The same person asked if you have any idea how it's worded on the statement when it comes back through to the dealer.
I believe it's worded as AMP, like Q1, Q2, Q3 marketing reimbursement, but I'm not for sure. So I will just double check so I'm not just making things up and let you know. So if you want to either email the ads@agcodirect.com or reach out to your after sales manager and have them put you in contact with me, and I'll do some digging for you and we'll get it all figured out.
And that was all the questions that I have. If there's anything else that you guys have questions about, feel free to reach out to us at the ACODirect team, ads@acodirect.com. You can go to the sign up page. It's my-aco.com-2026-amp-sign up, which is super long and fun, but it is in the email correspondence that went out as well. You can scan the QR code right there. You can also download the AMP playbook in the handouts portion on our webinar right here. And feel free to ask us any questions. Again, enrollment deadline is October 31st. And ladies, I appreciate you guys breaking this all down for the dealers. I know it's a lot of information to get in 30 minutes, but you did a great job. So thank you for joining us today, and look forward to kicking off the enrollment for next year.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emily. And we're really excited to get everybody enrolled and get your marketing set up for 2026.
Thanks, guys.